trouble. That's going to sound horrible, dog. That's going to sound horrible if you do that. And boom. 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 What's up, boys? Sup, Dougie? The streets needed this. What did the streets need, home? Chris! You're the first one again, mate. Well done, dude. I'm so impressed by how you're consistently the first one in-house. Chris, Jamie is back, and she needs to know, where's the YouTube channel? Where's the YouTube channel? Number one, MILF Hunter says, smash the like button on the peapod. Thank you, number one, MILF Hunter. I appreciate it, man. Yes, smash the like button. And if you guys are listening back to this, because I know some people listen back to this in podcast form, if you could hit the like button as well to help push it out, that would be awesome. I know I'm a little bit earlier than I usually am, so some of the regulars might not be in here. So if you guys, Bilal, Nacho, all the old crew, Larry, Tony F1, if all the old crew end up listening back to this, just hit the like button, boys. It helps grow the channel. When I'm here, I will always be first. I'd like to believe that, Chris, but there are some times, mate, where you're not quite first. Nacho gets you sometimes. The Dougie signal was put up and I came to the rescue. How you going, Homework? How are you, man? What's happening over on the other team's side of MMA YouTube? What's the narrative going in? Is John... let me ask you this, Homework. Because you listen to everyone in the MMA YouTube space. Do we all agree that Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall and ruining his own legacy by doing this? Do we all agree that this is sort of the worst possible way that Jon Jones could be handling Fight Week? Please let me know, Homework. I'm genuinely curious what everyone else out there in the MMA YouTube space is thinking. Definitely not Dana White. What's up, dude? I've only just said... Oh, number one, MILF Hunter says, I only just saw the video title. It's a little bit on the nose, isn't it? I think it's quite funny. But there is an explanation for it. Let me read not Dana White's comment, and then we'll talk about it. John can only blind Stipe if he doesn't go blind himself via chronically masturbating on every interview. I'm happy that I slowed the chat down to read that. Definitely not Dana White. I'm happy that I really took the time on explaining what's going on with the new gloves to really break that down, Dana. All right, let me bring up the news on the new gloves so we can all see it pretty clearly here. Hang on a sec. Where's the button that I need? There's the button there. All right, let's bring this up and we'll talk about it and we'll address what the hell is going on because it's so odd that this keeps happening to John. It's so weird that this keeps happening. Homework says yes. Okay, so we can all agree that this is just horrible. It's rare for all of us on MMA YouTube to agree about something, isn't it, Homework? But it's nice that it's finally happened. Okay, so the New York Athletic Commission moves very, very slowly. They almost move as slowly as France does. And France is a horrible, horrible commission. They still require a minimum of 4-ounce gloves in MMA competition. Cage, why so early? I finished work early. My quotes are on Friday, so I'm here. It's great. It's beautiful. This is the pleasure of working for yourself. When you finish the day's job, you can go and have fun. So the New York Athletic Commission require a minimum of 4-ounce gloves. The new gloves are missing I think it's half a gram or half a pound. Half a pound seems like a lot. Might be half a gram. The new gloves are lighter than the old gloves. And the reason that the new gloves are lighter is because you're meant to be able to form a fist easier so that you don't eye poke as much. But that doesn't pass the Athletic Commission. So we're going over to Jon Jones' fight card. He's going to be fighting in the old gloves. It's just another one of those things when people talk about Jon Jones' legacy, about like the picograms and moving the event around because of the pulsing this and the pulsing. It's another one of those little things that just... There's something weird with Jon Jones where it's a mix of being an absolutely terrible human being along with just bad luck sometimes. And Jon Jones just seems to be one of those magical creatures, like a leprechaun, except, you know. Anyway, my opinion on the Bones Aspinall saga. I've always said I think he is avoiding and ducking the fight, but I do think if they fought, he'd win and win easily. Does he lack the motivation? I don't think he lacks the motivation, number one, MILF Hunter. I think we should take Jon Jones at his word for exactly what he said. I'm not going to gamble my career against someone like Tom Aspinall. And that is exactly what he means. Jon Jones is very, very good against people who don't have very good wrestling or bad boxers. Like when he can stay on the outside and play an Israel Adesanya, Anderson Silva-esque game where he can pick and choose his shots, he's very good. Or if his opponent doesn't have very good wrestling, he can blast that double leg and absolutely clean them up. Having said that, with Tom Aspinall, Aspinall is so well-rounded, he can't use any of those old tactics on him. So he would be gambling his legacy on Aspinall. So I think when Jon Jones told Kevin Iole he's not here to gamble his legacy on Tom Aspinall, we should take that as gospel. Like, we should listen to what Jon Jones is saying. He doesn't believe that he can beat Tom Aspinall. He doesn't want to gamble it on himself. Could Jon Jones beat Tom Aspinall? He could submit him. He could submit him. There's no way in hell he could hurt Tom Aspinall with his pillow fists. Jon Jones hasn't hurt anybody ever. Ever. Well, maybe in 2012. But Jon Jones hasn't hurt anybody for years. But he could submit Aspinall. He is lanky enough and quick enough. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a slacking mess. Insta page will be posted and ready tomorrow morning. Definitely. Just made Scotch eggs for the first recipe on there. Nice one. Nice one, Chris. Good, man. I want to see it. Let the whole chat know. You'll have followers, man. What's up, Base Scotty? How are you, man? Dougie, when Jon Jones 12-6 elbows Stipe in a mouth... We don't want to see it. We don't... Look, you've seen the prayer video. You know all of our hopes and dreams are based on Stipe just making Jon Jones look bad. Making my own city's dessert after tomorrow for a second one. A Nanimo bar? What is a Nanimo bar, Chris? What's up, Jack Nolan, you bloody legend, Jack Nolan? Give me a second to read your chat, mate. I want to see what the fucking Nanimo bar is. Can I swear yet? Yeah, 10 minutes in, I can swear yet. What's up, Aussie? How are you, brother? Nanimo bar recipe. They have 3 layers worth the effort. Okay. But what are they? It's a non-baked dessert named after a Canadian city in British Columbia. It consists of 3 layers: coconut crumb base, a custard filling, and a chocolate topping. That sounds fucking dope, Chris. All right, Jack Nolan, what's up, man? Bringing back the old gloves on top of 12-6 ground rule. Yeah, Dana's definitely doing everything that he can to get a Jon Jones highlight. It's confirmed. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it could be because of the New York Athletic Commission, but let's just say it's because Jon Jones wants to rip out Stipe Miocic's eyes. That works just as well, Jack Nolan, you bloody legend, Jack Nolan. Stipe will win. That's the way. What's up, Nacho? How are you, man? What's good, dude? That is delicious. Number 1, MILF Hunter. Watch out, everybody. Watch out. MILF Hunter's on the scene. Hey, Aussie, you've got yourself some competition here. MILF Hunter is on the scene. Says, while his body has less damage than a standard MMA fighter, his age, all the controversy has surely mentally drained him. I believe if Jon Jones was 5 years younger, he'd take it. He's near or at the end of his career. So I assume you're talking about a Tom Aspinall matchup, yeah? Yeah, I think if Jon Jones... honestly, number 1, MILF Hunter, maybe 7 or 10 years younger. Because remember, 5 years ago, Jon Jones was in that run of... He was in his 3rd light heavyweight run. The Ovin St. Preux, Anthony Smith, Santos, Reyes run. And he kind of looked bad. He looked dog shit in all of those fights, man. So I don't think 5 years ago Jon Jones would have taken that. Again, Jon Jones has been in the UFC for such a long time. It's really hard to appreciate how long he's been here. And 5 years ago, he was already declining at light heavyweight and having fights that were going way closer than he should have. Like, Thiago Santos' fight never should have gone as close as it did. Santos blew apart every single ligament in his kneecap in the first round. There was no reason for that to be drawn out to a close decision. John's only way to finish... What's up, Two Smelly Fingers? How are you, brother? John's only way to finish Tom would be a lucky sub or a kick to the knee. And obviously, also the eye pokes. I think it would be hard to say a lucky sub. I do think Jon could get Tom by rear naked. I think he could get him that way. He's got so much range. He's got such a wide reach. He's so lanky. I think he could get him that way. And then the kick to the knee. Yeah, like Jon Jones loves an oblique kick, mate. Bloody loves an oblique kick. So I could see him spamming that until Tom Aspinall's knees just destroy him. Weidman, Chris Weidman. He's coming for blood and eyeballs. What a horrible card to put Jon Jones and Chris Weidman on. The card that has the old gloves that rip out eyeballs. Yeah, not good. Tom should beat John easily using the Reyes game plan. How are you, Toad? What's good, man? Good to see you, dude. But there are questions with Tom's takedown defense and cardio. Someone doesn't want to risk answering those questions. I think that's fair, dude. Like, Tom Aspinall's cardio, even he said he doesn't know how he's going to go on a 25-minute fight because he's never gone into it. So, yeah, if John can survive 10 minutes in there with Tom Aspinall and then find a way to get submissions going, find a way to wrestle him, actually put on a really heavy grappling plan. Maybe something like Mario Batista where, and I'm just using that because it's such a recent example, where he's not actually trying to get Aspinall down. He's just trying to lean on him and weigh on him and just be heavy on him. This is the thing, right? And like you said, he just doesn't want to risk answering those questions. It's an interesting matchup. It's just Jon Jones is so scared of protecting his legacy that he is only picking fights that are like 90% winnable for him. Stipe Miocic, who the last time we saw him was on crutches, or Alex Pereira, who couldn't defend a takedown against any one of us in the chat. What's up, Two Smelly Fingers and the chat savages? Great story you sent me the other day, mate. Great story you sent me. Wild, harrowing tale. How can a sub ever be considered lucky? Yeah, I know, Paul Craig's entire career, Nacho, seems like a series of lucky subs. You know what I mean? I would totally find a way to fit my name in online. Nacho, I'd argue Carlos Newton subbing Pat Miocic was lucky. Nacho would remember that. That's how long he's been here. I dig the early stream time, Doug. It is it just depends on when I finish work, mate. Like last week, I was streaming at 6 p.m. Australian time. Just depends when I finish work, dude. The new gloves don't even solve the eye poke problem. They just lead to less KOs. I don't get the hate for the old gloves coming. I don't think it's hate. I think people are more just pointing out how funny it is that the old gloves are coming back on a Jon Jones card, and Jon Jones and Chris Weidman. I can't even say Weidman anymore. I don't think people hate it. I think people are just pointing out the fact that it's funny that these two notorious eye pokers are the ones that are bringing the old gloves back. I wish we had the old gloves back permanently, to be honest, man. I hate the new gloves. I want the old gloves back permanently. So, yeah. The new gloves, no KOs. Someone, I think it was Tony F1, pointed out that, what was it? The heavyweight division's KOs have gone down by 70% since the new gloves came in. It's kind of embarrassing. So, yeah. I don't love that. You know what I mean? Do we think Tommy and Mick Parkin are doing a hard 5-5 every sparring session? I don't know if Mick Parkin's doing a hard 5-5. I think Tommy is the kind of guy that would push himself in the gym to see if he could do 25 minutes. Nothing beats live sparring. You know what I mean? Live combat. Doing it for real. You know what I mean? Nothing beats that. I'm sure every fighter thinks they've got 25 minutes in them until they're actually in there and feel it. Like the stream, boys. Agree, Toad. I'm happy the old gloves are coming back, even if it's just for one event. I really miss the old gloves, but I do understand the fans criticizing it. I think they should just bring them back for every single event. Bring the old gloves back in perpetuity. Leave them for the Contender Series, because they're obviously... just forget it. Just get rid of this new glove experiment. It didn't work. The next time the UFC want to try out gloves, or try out live scoring, or try out something new, you have Cage Warriors, LFA, Eternal. Test it there. Test it in these organizations that should be used for testing things. Don't do it in the UFC live without testing it. It's ridiculous. The Batista game plan won't work with Tom's massive strength and size advantage. John is 6'3" with long and skinny legs. He has no business at heavyweight. They're probably bringing the old gloves back permanently. I think they should bring the old gloves back permanently. I was saying at the top of the stream, Toad, I think it's because the New York Athletic Commission probably requires 4-ounce gloves as a minimum for MMA fights. I just... maybe just to wear on him to keep spamming takedowns. But yeah, this is one of the problems with the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall matchup. Jon Jones is just too undersized for heavyweight, especially since he has lost so much of that. I don't want to call it muscle, but he's lost so much of the rig that he was bringing in before the horrible chest injury. He is officially Chris Idman now. Two smelly fingers. I literally can't use another word. What's up, Tony? How are you, brother? What's up, Miguel? How are we, boys? Dougie, I think I mentioned it to you a couple of months ago, but the old gloves just look better on fighters. The new ones just don't look right, man. No, I don't like the new ones at all. I think if you want to do anything, bring back the old gloves, and as a small design change for championship fights, just make the UFC logo gold. That's all you need to do. You don't need to have gold gloves, just black glove with a gold logo. Definitely not Dana White. He's definitely not Dana White, everyone. Don't believe Dana White is in here. Dougie, I have been looking into different live streams and reading about certain chat experiences. I suspect there might be a contrived delay on your channel's live feed. I got nothing to say or do about that. I can't control that in any way. Definitely not Dana White. And I feel like the chat moves pretty good, man. You know, I just try and read every comment as it comes and have a decent conversation with each one of you. But if you have any info, please send it to me on Instagram or X, or all my links are down there. So definitely not Dana White. On the Discord, whatever works for you, man. Nacho says, the old gloves are also favor Stipe for the possibility of getting a one-punch KO. This is true, everyone. This is true. Stipe is the one that can knock someone out on the back foot. Two Smelly Fingers says, have you seen the Jon Jones new shorts? I have. They're horrible. They should be covered in syringes and ducks. What's up, Miguel? How are you, man? What is with this early-ass live stream? I finished work early, so I'm here early. Sorry, Tony. I know you need to listen to me while you're working, brother, but I'm here, mate. I'm here. Dougie, watch Old Man Volk's newest short when you can. It's banter. Is it on X? Where is it, mate? Where is it? Hey, let's go to Volk, and we'll go to latest, and we'll see what we can find. Now he's old. Where am I? I heard Tom has been having Eddie Hall shoot on him to work that takedown defense. That's a thick slab of meat. Yeah, I think Tom's been working with everyone. What's the new main event for UFC 310? It'll be Usman versus Shavkat. It will be. The old gloves are so much better. There's 30% more knockouts, nearly 50% more knockdowns. Ilya would have KO'd Max. Ilya KO'd Max with the new gloves. Imagine what it would have been like, Tony, with the old gloves, man. The old gloves were way better. When will they put out UFC 311, UFC 312, and UFC 313 main events? They will start to roll out a month after each pay-per-view, dude. That's how the UFC does things, man. Black and gold gloves would be fire. I reckon homework. I reckon that would look sick. John will either be too fat, too slow, or too weak and too small. He had the perfect heavyweight legacy plan with Garn and Stipe before he got injured and Tom showed up, because he's not a good heavyweight. Yeah, I could see what Jon Jones was going for. You know what I mean? Once Francis left and it was just Cyril Gane was the next big up-and-comer, and so was Sergey Pavlovich. People forget, man. People forget. There was a time where Sergey Pavlovich was 6 fights and 6 knockouts, all in the first round. And Jon Jones just looked at heavyweight and just went, I'll take down both of these guys. It'll be fucking easy, and then I'll bounce. Yeah, then he's, as you said, he's chest popped. And now Tom Aspinall has become the most dominant fighting force in human existence, and Jon Jones has to run away from him. Chris Gray says, I'm shocked that Johnny Bones Jones didn't get rainbow shorts since he needs the fan base. Me too, mate. Volk. Nothing in on the Volk. Alexander Volkanovski. What do we got? He's back. Old man Volk is back. 9th of October. This was a while ago, mate. This is from 9th of October. Is this the one you're talking about? Let's bring it up and have a look. Let's watch it together, chat. Where's old man Volk? And then we'll read some... Hang on, I'm listening to music in my ear, so let me turn this off. And then we'll watch old man Volk together. Pause you. Alright, go back to OBS. Turn on the desktop audio. Let's watch old man Volk. What do we got?
Volk's gone past his use-by date. I saw one off-past the horse and the world goes crazy. Ridiculous.
G'day, Volk here. I'm not fighting right now.
So I'm working on my side hustle down at the local farmer's market. See, I like to come in nice and early, you know? Set up. Preparation is key. Mate, the punters, they're going to be all over this stuff. Bulk's pasta sauce. Can't get any better.
Just one pasta sauce, please.
Just one. Now, you need to buy two, mate. You're too skinny. What are you, flyweight? Tap and go. Tap. You know I never tap. How's your father?
No, I never
Call
tap.
him? Yeah, when you getting married? Mate, you're getting a bit older now. It's getting stale down there. Ah, good boy, good boy. Here, have some of this. Hey, $5, sir. $5. Nah, cash only, cash only. Hey, everybody.
Cash only. Is this the old ass one?
Free. You buy one for $5, two for $10. Deal just for you. Yeah, Dan, that's plenty of time. Fax me through the contract. See you next week. Who's next?
So no more fighting, Volk?
Oh shit, it's not even playing. Why don't you guys tell me that it's not playing on the screen? Oh my god. Unbelievable. Hang on, let me read some chats. We'll get back into that. Why does no one tell me that it's not even playing on the screen? Nacho, you're right there, mate. You can hear the video, but no one's watching it play. Oh my god. Let me read some chats. Get that out of the bloody way for now. God almighty, I suck at YouTube streaming. Okay, Dougie, will you stream the UFC China card? It's at a crazy time for the US people. I haven't checked the time zone. We'll see. Homework. Let me check the time zone and I'll let you know, man. It's on YouTube. You're alright, Chris. Who wins if they made Conor versus Volk at welterweight in 6 months? Obviously, Conor McGregor. Obviously, Conor McGregor. Look, Volk's chin is done, and at welterweight, Conor's going to have the power and the steroids, and Conor McGregor would absolutely destroy Volkanovski. Volk might be able to take him down and submit him. Volk has got old school Aussie wrestling. He was a wrestler in his off season when he was playing rugby, so Volk might have a chance there, but I think Volk's ego would put him in a striking match, and Conor at welterweight with the steroids would cave his fucking head in. The duck and the steroids are printed on the inside of the shorts. Right where he likes them. Rubbing up against his sausage. Skipped my second one, but I wasn't referring to the shadow ban comments or anything conspiratorial. I'm just saying that serving a live stream isn't the same product for everyone who live streams on. Oh, right. Okay, so YouTube sort of prioritizes live streams differently for people. I'm not surprised, definitely not Dana White, because people have said that they've got my notification bell turned on and they still don't get notifications. So yeah, I don't know if YouTube is the best live stream service technically, but it's got the biggest audience. Dougie is never that far behind on chat, especially doing it by himself with no mods for the most part. It's not that, yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah. John said he'd be 235 against Stipe, so I imagine, let me put my music back on. Helps me zone out and read chat better. Helps my brain focus on the chats better. John said he would be 235 against Stipe, so I'd imagine he's looking more to use the striking as he's sacrificing the strength for the speed. Yeah, if he's coming in a little bit lighter, he might be looking to be a little bit faster, hopefully put a little bit more power and speed behind his shots, and yeah, be able to blast a double leg just as quick. I don't know. It's interesting. Probably because Stipe isn't the biggest heavyweight either as well, Toad, right? It's his newest short on YouTube. All right, I'll go back and check out his newest short on YouTube. I was using my man. You're right, man. I'm walking my dog, so I'm not really looking at the screen. You're all good, man. You're all good, bro. You're all good. Someone needs to check me. Dougie, genuine question, but how do you feel about one's MMA fights being scored as a whole? I still don't know how to feel about it, but it doesn't make sense when there are still rounds and breaks. I like it, Homework. I like it because I do believe in you can break a guy over time. You know, you can break someone over time. We've seen a lot of these fights where by the end of the fight, we all feel like if that had gone another 2 rounds, that bloke would have been broken. It's very weird in MMA. I think we watch a lot of these fights at the Apex where a fighter will win the first round, win the first half of the second round, and then the fight will slowly start to change. And it makes the judging very like skew-if. But I think when you judge the entire fight as a whole, you can sort of see that this fighter was beating the piss down, playing it very calculated in the first round, and then eventually just started to wear away at his opponent. So I like the way that one do things a lot. Milfar just says, Bones will beat Stipe comfortably with his reach. He may even finish him with how chinny he is now. I hope Volk wins, but at welterweight it would be very dangerous for him. Yeah, so let's do the first one, man. I think Jon Jones easily beats Stipe Miocic. Stipe's chin, we don't know if he's chinny now, right? He had one knockout against Francis. Francis has got insane power. Francis can knock anybody out. Stipe before that generally had a really good chin. Like in the second and third Daniel Cormier fights, Cormier was fucking hitting Stipe hard, bro. Hitting him fucking hard. And Stipe was taking it. How good can the chin of a 42-year-old man be? I don't know. It's hard to tell with Stipe. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean? I hope Volk wins it, but at welterweight it'll be very dangerous. Yeah, welterweight would be super dangerous. Because Volk at welterweight is essentially just a chubby guy. You know, everyone like... Joe Rogan likes to talk about how thick he was, but I don't know if you've seen rugby players, NFL players. You can be a chubby NFL player and like have that like thick dad bod underneath you, but yeah, not exactly lean and mean. Whereas when Conor comes in at welterweight, he's lean and mean and just juiced up to the fucking gills. He might not be doing steroids, but the fucking horse he ate was riddled with them. So sad, but it's funny at the same time. The Volk thing? It is, mate. It is. Thoughts on 1FC paying a title contender $8K? Yeah, they don't pay nearly as good as the UFC. They're going bankrupt every single... I don't think 1FC have ever turned a profit. Ever. Yeah. But this is the thing, right, Nacho? This is why I keep talking about 1FC. The UFC at the moment is a bit garbage. It's a bit of a joke. It's a laughingstock, really. The title fights this year are mainly just WWE title fights. The competition at the Apex has fallen off. Women's MMA has never been worse. Everyone outside of heavyweight at the top 7 is garbage. The UFC right now, it's not in a great position. But what else have we got, right? We've got Cage Warriors, we've got One, we've got Eternal, we've got bare knuckle boxing. The PFL is not a serious competition. The PFL is a fucking joke as well. Its marketing's bad. Its fights are boring. The rule set is drawn back. To me, even though One is not a great company, every time I watch One, I generally have a fun time most of the time. So I watch One because I think it's the second best option we have to the UFC at the moment. I'm not complaining about how Dougie does things at all. Pound for pound, he's the best MMA channel on the platform. Dana! Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you, dude. Not Dana White. So, Dougie, if fighter A dominates the entire fight, but again gets the dog shit beaten out of him, then let's say the last minute, who wins the fight? Fighter A or fighter B, according to... I would say if fighter A dominates the entire fight, but it's just the last 2 minutes that fighter B turns it on, fighter A would still win the fight. You are taking it as like a majority of the fight. Yeah. In that situation, I would give it to fighter A. The Volk video got me hungry for some homemade meatballs. Ooh, make sure to record it. Put it on your new channel, Chris. New channel must be made. Sorry if it's a stupid question. I'm still a newbie to One. I'll probably get the hang of it more as I watch them. Yeah, I think it just comes with like experience of watching it. And with One, it is sort of like you look at the cumulative strikes over the entire fight. It is more like cumulative based. And I think that more comes from Muay Thai as well. And the kick, like just the way that One do things. It's very, very different. John's boxing is too bad and he has no power, so a KO on the feet is very unlikely. Yeah, I think at best it will be throw Stipe to the ground and latch up a rear naked choke. That's what I think Jon Jones' plan is going to be. We'll see. Good thing I got the no-chill Italian grandma recipe. No-chill's grandma's recipe? That's pretty based. That's pretty good. Bloody Italian meatball recipe. That's pretty good, mate. Stipe carries all of Ohio on his gentle... Poor Stipe. What's up, Brutally Honest? How are you, man? What's good, dude? Rich Franklin is high up on that one, isn't he? Rich Franklin is high up on that one, isn't he? Number one, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore here, dude. I like One because it's unique and a nice change of pace for the UFC. Yeah, dude, that's why I like it. Because generally they have a very, very good and fair competition at 155 pounds down. Plus, they mix in the kickboxing, the grappling, the Muay Thai. They have boxing. They have all different events all on one card. Get it? It's fun. I like it a lot. That last Apex card was sick. Look, the UFC can still be fun. I agree. The last Apex card was sick. However, you got to admit, Nacho, this year for the UFC, it's been a little bit of a slump. And the way that I watched that last Apex card was like great for me because I was able to watch the entire one card at the same time. I was watching the Apex live, and then because we had so many first round knockouts, I was able to alt tab across and finish the one card. I essentially had like, I didn't have 2.5 hours of watching whatever the fuck the ESPN crew was talking about. I got to watch fights the entire time. It was fucking awesome, man. Octagon is the second best. Fuck one. Oh, that's what you're talking about, Brutal. That's what you're talking about. I gotta say this. I've never heard of this organization. I don't know what you are talking about, dude. Did you see Stipe's denim briefs he's wearing on Saturday? I didn't. What are you talking about, two smiley fingers? One can afford talent, but they can't afford competition. It's a sad spot to be in. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it sucks for them. And I don't know what they can do to turn it around because I've seen too many Western fans look at one's roster and they go, oh, they're all smaller than me, so they're not intimidating. Even though a smaller guy could easily destroy you, couch potato. Like, easily. But they're like, well, they're smaller than me, so they don't count. They're not real athletes. It's very weird, mate. People forget Cage Warriors is always amazing. Cage Warriors is always amazing. Cage Warriors is really fucking good. Like I said, I would have it like the UFC 1, Cage Warriors, Eternal. The Cage Warriors is fucking amazing. And they're borrowing money to afford the talent. Yeah, one have never turned a profit. Ever turned a profit. One FC selling out 50 to 60,000 stadiums like Octagon. No, they're not. Brutal. What are you talking about, dude? I do not know this organization at all, man. I guess I'm just a fucking casual. Brutally Honest MMA, everyone. Check him out as well. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. Check him out. Those Jon Jones fans are acting like Jones spent his career beating young guys like Aspinall, who were the guy to beat Jones, but he spent most of his career beating older legends. Yeah, he did. And when he was back and actually fighting people that he should be fighting, the Santoses, the Reyeses, the Anthony Smiths, the Ovin St. Preux, he looked incredibly human. Incredibly human. So the person who wins the majority of the fight always wins. Am I? Yes, you are homework. That is generally the way that it goes. Yep. Also, do you see a lot of robberies and what? Yeah, just as much. Yeah, judging everywhere is kind of dog shit. Yep. What's up, Larry? How are you, man? What's good? If you heard the ESPN crew, they were complaining that they had to work more because there were so many quick finishes. That is hilarious. I don't like, if anyone has Fight Pass, you'll know that on Fight Pass, they have a show called 25 Knockouts in 25 Minutes. And it's just highlight reels of knockouts. Play that. Just play that. You are the UFC. You run the production. Just play knockouts. Play back old fights. Play back some of the best fights ever. I don't understand why they don't just come up with this shit live. Apparently, they've got 2 trucks parked in front of the Apex working the production team. Rather than hearing fucking Usman and Anthony Smith yap on for 2.5 hours. Play a fight. Play a knockout. Only younger guy he fought was Garn Reyes, who he lost to, and Smith, where John was asked shit like, after you destroy this bum, are you planning to move up and fight DC? The only younger guy he fought was Garn and Reyes. Yep, and Reyes he lost to. Yep. And Smith, where John was like, yeah. And the Smith one, again, that win has aged fucking horribly. Octagon MMA has actual superstars, man. Louis Katana is one of the best lightweights on the planet. Trust. Brutal, I don't know if you're setting me up here with something. I don't know what you're doing. Let me have a look here, Brutal. Let me see what you're up to, Brutal. Octagon MMA. News from the cage. Accept all. Alright, what do we got to? Is this Russian? What is this? Octagon MMA is back in March. Okay. I've got to check this out, Brutal. I got to check this out. The guys only started watching post-pandemic and they only watched the gun fight. I agree, dude. I agree. I 100% agree with it. Most Jon Jones fans joined us since 2019. 100%, Toad. What's up, Shotgun? How are you, brother? I also want to watch Brave FC. That's where Ikram Aleskadov and Ilya Makayev came from. I believe Brave FC shows everything for free on YouTube, homework. So if they don't do that in America, grab a VPN and set it to Australia or Southeast Asia. I'm pretty sure we can see Brave FC on YouTube. Dougie is so dumb thick, it's insane. Thanks, Kenny. I think you mean so damn thick. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. What is the coldest you have ever camped out at? Isn't Serbia like one of the coldest places? We've camped up in the Alpine region, just around snow season, and it's been pretty bloody fucking cold. But no, like Victoria, it only gets very cold up in those regions, and even then it's like -3 degrees. It's not that cold. Couch Potato, pound for pound goat. Yeah. The people that watch the skinny guys on one and they're like, they couldn't hurt me. Couch potato goats, yep. Jones did hint and run to get out of fighting Prime Rumble. Jones did a hit and run. Yeah. To get out of fighting the Prime Rumble. Jon Jones loves to set up his circumstances perfectly, shotgun. Dougie's Casual Corner. Octagon is the biggest promotion in Europe right now. No, set up after the stream and check it out. I will, dude. I just clicked on it now. I thought Cage Warriors was the bit. But again, dude, like, this is the problem when you're just locked into the Fight Pass universe. You know what I mean, Brutal? Like, to me, because I'm just locked into Fight Pass, not DAZN, I haven't even heard of this fucking organization, mate. Never. To me, Cage Warriors is the biggest European organization. So thanks, Brutal. I appreciate it, man. Oh, what the fuck? Dougie actually doesn't know Octagon. Even I know Octagon. Dougie doesn't even watch the City Life Project. Damn. Yeah, never picked up on this organization. God, there's a fucking lot out there, isn't it? I didn't know that Dougie didn't know about this. There you go. It's blowing your minds, boys. Octagon, here it is. Paddy versus Moicano, UK Fight Night in February. Why not? Let's fucking do it. I don't love it for Moicano. I'm not going to lie, boys. I don't like Moicano's age and that he's had a pretty bad shoulder injury against Paddy, who's got very good judo throws and a very significant ground game. I don't love that. I think Paddy Pimblett is where the Moicano train comes to an end. And I know that that's going to annoy people, but yeah. Kenny's being a dick. Kenny's always a dick, but I love him. I appreciate Big Dick Kenny. Sucks we missed Jones versus Rumble. I would have picked John, but that would have been a hell of a round and a half. Yeah, it would have. Fuck. I would have loved to be watching the sport back then. CW used to be, but the talent has been watered down since becoming a feeder to the UFC. Okay, all right. So Octagon doesn't feed fighters into the UFC? It's kind of bonkers that UFC Edmonton, for the most part, was not enjoyed by people watching it on TV, but seeing it live in person was sick as fuck. Could have been a bit better for sure, but absolutely loved it all. Well, I think it must just be something about being in the arena, feeling the vibe, being surrounded by the fans, and then being able to like talk to your mates and drink in between the fights. I'm sure it was just very, very different. But you know how we watch it, Kenny? Like, generally, most of us are either alone watching it on our laptops or our couches at home, or the family might be in the back. And when there's a lot of decisions or runtime in between the fights, it really can slow things down. Like, Edmonton was not very enjoyable to watch as a TV experience, which is odd because the first time that the UFC went back to London after the big shutdown, after the big test run, after the gaslighting that happened in 2020, that crowd and that atmosphere came over the TV so fucking well. Like, that UFC London event is one of the most memorable events ever, because of how well the crowd came across on the TV. Moicano will win because Moicano needs to now. Moicano needs money. Isn't Octagon the place that does 2-on-1 fights and female versus men shit? I think that's the Russian Fight Nights. And it is just called Fight Nights in Russia, but I'm pretty sure they're the ones that do that. Yeah, that's all that Russian MMA shit, which is great. Every fight they say Paddy will get destroyed, and every fight he comes through. I know, I'm going to be backing Paddy on this one. And Shotgun, I'm one of those guys. Like, I don't think I've ever picked Paddy to win a fight, ever. But I'm going to pick him to beat Moicano. I was walking home the other day, and the real possibility of Khamzat Championship's reign with less defenses than heavyweight Jon Jones, and the Glazers will have more of a point. I was walking home the other day, and the real possibility of a Khamzat Championship reign with less defenses than heavyweight Jon Jones, and the Glazers will have more of a point. I was walking home the other day, and the real possibility set in of a Khamzat Championship reign with even less defenses than heavyweight Jon Jones. So what, like, Khamzat becomes a champion and only defends twice or once, and the absolute Khamzat Glazers go crazy? Yeah, that's very possible. I mean, the Khamzat Glazers already go a little bit crazy, and you saw the build-up to Khamzat Whitaker, definitely not Dana White. I was trying to pump the brakes and hold off the Khamzat team as much as I could. But you don't push Robert Whittaker's teeth back into his face in the first round and not get all of that hype back. Whether or not Robert Whittaker had chin surgery when he was fucking 8 years old or 8 months before the fight or whatever, the circumstances really don't matter. The visualization of drowning Robert Whittaker in the first round and then squeezing so fucking hard his teeth push into the back of his head, it gets you fight. It gets you hyped back. It just does. You can't argue it, mate. You just can't argue it. No, Octagon doesn't do any of that crazy shit. Octagon do stadium shows. That's sick, man. I am 100%. You know what else is weird, though? Why I haven't caught this? You guys in the Discord know the websites that I use to get around and watch pay-per-views. I share them with you guys. I can't say them here, but you've seen the websites. You've seen me share them. This Octagon MMA promotion has not popped up on any of those websites ever, which is very weird because those websites aren't controlled by Fight Pass. Those websites are controlled by... So, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird that I've never seen this. I'll be honest, I only know Octagon because of the City Life project. Okay, fair enough. Would you rather see MVP versus Shara Bullet or MVP versus Prates? I would rather see MVP versus Shara Bullet. Yeah, I think Shara will put up a better fight. I don't rate Prates that highly. I think Shara will put up a better fight, but he will lose. I will be for now on spoiled after that event. That was mid if it was watching on TV, but awesome in person. It's weird. I think it's just being part of the energy, mate. Being part of the crowd. You know what I mean? Shotgun. People always pick Paddy, but say he'll lose the next fight until the UFC finds another favorable matchup. He's still shit. Is he though? Is he? John would have beat Rumble easier than DC did. I love Rumble, but he was never elite. Yeah, John would have, blasted the takedown. Elbow. Let's not forget, Jon Jones, young Jon Jones. 2015 Jon Jones. The takedowns and the elbows were fucking real, man. They were real, dude. Rumble had a round and a half to fluke something, though. Probably the most risky matchup. Yeah, I think that's Jon Jones was just good at negating risk. Yeah. Dougster! When's the next time we're doing a chart? Which chart? What a chart. What a chart. Saved my life, that chart. I think we'll probably bring up my GOAT list chart after the Jon Jones fight. We recently redid the boxing one. We don't need to do the pound for pound list because the pound for pound list hasn't moved since Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria. So we don't need to do a chart right now, Kenny. And I brought up the tier lists and everything to get the conversation going between me and the chat, because there used to only be about 5 or 10 people in here, and the chat would slow down a bit. So to keep the conversation rolling, I'll bring those charts up. But right now, chat's been popping every single stream, which is really cool, man. Great atmosphere. It's a hell of a thing for sure. That gets unmatched from watching it on TV to seeing it live in person, definitely. Yeah, which is why, me and Nacho have been talking about going to Hex in Melbourne just to get around it with the boys and watch some fights in person. Yep. Brutal. What's up, brother, man? You're saying, who are you backing in, Chandler versus Oliveira? Oliveira, dude. Oliveira. Yeah, Chandler's just too old, too much ring rust. He's dumb. He's not just fight IQ dumb. You definitely saw the Ariel Helwani thing, Brutal. He's like, I was too young in the sport because the UFC happens in an octagon, but Bellator happens in a circle. Chandler's just dumb. And Oliveira's got a great fight IQ. And Oliveira was one guillotine away from being the rightful number 1 contender again. Yeah. Oliveira's just better everywhere. It's not your dyslexia, I'm just retarded. Well, me and Chat, Dana, we often meet in the middle between Chat being retarded and Doug being dyslexic. We very often meet in the middle. I'm just me and him killing the division by taking the belt and squatting. He's the reason not to compete, and he is quite good, but that is my nightmare. I don't think if he has the belt, he will be squatting. We're going to be in Abu Dhabi twice next year, and in Saudi Arabia twice next year. And Trump is also president now, so I don't think he's going to be squatting anymore. Bryce Mitchell, I seen in a clip say he has a buddy that does the same crank that Hamzat did to him, and it really does feel like his jaw and his teeth was about to explode. I don't think we have to worry about cranks being a normal after 308. I seen a few people try it in the UFC, and they couldn't do it. There's a reason we don't see it that often. You got to use discernment is what Bryce Mitchell is saying here. People use the cranks, but Hamzat's is just different. You got to use discernment. He's no shit. He's no shit. He's decent and he has potential to stay in the top 50, to stay in the top 5 or 10 for a while when he gets there. He's not shit. He's decent and he has potential to stay in the top 5 or 10. Oh, Larry, you're talking about Paddy. Paddy's not shit. Paddy's not shit. Lightweight's shit right now, and Paddy's good for where lightweight is right now. Paddy's not shit. Paddy can strike with Bobby Green. He can roll with Tony Ferguson. Paddy's not shit. Yeah, Paddy deserves to be in the top 5, top 10. Dan Hooker's in the top 5, top 10. You know what I mean? Jarlin Turner's in the top 5, top 10. Fucking Michael Chandler's still in the top 5. Lightweight's shit right now. It's lightweight is shit. Paddy is not shit. It's like saying Tom Aspinall's shit because all of heavyweight's shit. The UFC is just a little bit shit right now. I don't know why, but the talent is just a little bit shit right now. I think Islam is my favorite pound-for-pound fighter right now. I could agree with that. Yeah, like fighting, the technique, the form, the style, the excitement, how Islam seems to be able to make every fight close. Enjoyability of going back and watching an Islam fight. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, most people don't go into cage fights with busted up jaws, dental work, and get their busted up jaws, dental work squeezed. Yeah, that's true, but still the visualization of it, you know what I mean? Pound for pound is nachos? Yes, pound for pound is nachos. Fuck, I gotta check the calendar. Where are we up to? But on a personal level, Oliveira is pretty Jon Jones, so I want him to get banged out. There's a reason he doesn't speak. Why, you reckon? Because if we heard Oliveira speak, the champ has a name. The champ has a name, boys, and his name is Oliveira. You reckon if we heard him speak, it would come out? Paddy has decent wins. Bobby Green isn't that good. He's 37-year-old who fluked his way to the top 15. Again, we're talking about lightweight. Like, we can't keep saying, like, Chandler's lucky to be in the top 5. Dan Hooker's lucky to be in the top 5. Fucking Benil, like, is 37 years. Like, maybe lightweight's just shit. But let me finish your comment here, Toad. Paddy has decent wins. Bobby Green isn't that good. He's a 37-year-old who fluked his way to the top 15. And the UFC saw him as a perfect way to get him ranked. Yep. I get what you're saying. I just think Paddy sits where he deserves to sit, considering the layout of lightweight. Toad. Definitely not Dana White says, but Dougie, he's tummy, he's immunes. He moved his training camp. And he did fine on this one. He did fine. I know it took him every last second to make weight, but he did make weight. I can't keep fighting against Chimaev here. I can't. He made the weight. They said his cardio was a problem. They moved his training camp to a higher elevation to fix his cardio. What else can you say, man? I can't. What else can you say? Trump and Putin going to bring UFC Russia. We need Trump and Putin ringside. Oh. Stop it, Kenny. Paddy strikes like a guy who's only hit a heavy bag and never actually sparred. The UFC are smart with their matchmaking, and you're all getting tricked into thinking that he's good. Nacho, thank you for the $2, man. Thanks for the great channel and the great commentary. Nacho, thank you for always supporting, man. Every single video, every single stream. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much, and thank you for the $2, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Means a lot. Paddy strikes like a guy. Paddy strikes like a guy who's only ever hit. Oh yeah, we just did that one. Did we? I'm thinking he's good. I think he is good. Relatively good. Let's do this, Toad. I believe Paddy Pimblett is relatively good to the UFC lightweight division. When you look at all of the UFC lightweight division, the top 15, Paddy Pimblett is where he should be and deserves to be there and has the skills to be there. Excuse me, chat. That was disgusting. Oh! Brutally, thank you for the $10, the 10 gifted memberships, man. Thank you so much, bro. Thrillhouse got a gifted membership. Blue Line got a gifted membership. Riddle got a gifted membership. Armsby got a gifted membership. 10. Hap Chandler and Nathan98. Dana White got gifted a membership, so did Cage. Thank you so much, Brutal. Thank you for the $10, man. I really appreciate it, dude. That means a lot, man. That's a massive donor. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Let us continue on with everybody's comments. And for sure, put that cherry on top to meet Jasmine in front of the bubble gum Okay. All right, Chris. Just go squeeze one out and come back. We're going to see Trump and Putin ringside together by 2026. Crazy. Homework says, that is crazy to actually consider that could happen. Homework says, I'm glad I picked Paddy to win in his last fight. I've watched MMA for too long to know he was never going to lose to that dog shit. It was in the script and he had plot armor. Yeah. Well, I don't remember who I called. I think I called Bobby. Yeah, I think I called Bobby to win that one. Islam is also funny. Yep. He has character. No, Islam deserves to be the power bound #1 fighter in the world. He deserves to get pay-per-view points, and Islam Fight Week is good because you could say anything to Islam, and he could be like, in my country, we don't say that to each other, brother. We don't say that. We don't make jokes in my country, brother, unless it's tap on the shoulder or move gym bag. No, it is good. I rather enjoy Islam. Yeah. We need to get Diamond instead of Ruby. He is good. Well, Toad, the odds makers had Bobby as a solid favorite and a large majority picked him to win. So clearly people underestimated Paddy. That's from Larry Toad. Definitely not Dana White says. There's no reason an Aussie should have a Mitchell impression be that good. That accent isn't pitch perfect, but the cadence is one of what I really like Bryce Mitchell interviews. I really like Bryce Mitchell as a person. I think he's so based. I would love to have a whiskey or a moonshine with Bryce Mitchell. It'd be fucking awesome. Oh, man. In my opinion, Trump and Putin getting along means we're going to be peaceful. Yes, I agree. They literally had to change the rules for Hamzat to make weight. They didn't. All weigh-ins are for 2 hours. They set the weigh-ins for 1 hour, and then they were like, hang on, it's going to be 2 hours. Like, they didn't. They just moved it an hour earlier. They moved it an hour earlier and then reminded everyone that it was a 2-hour weigh-in. They didn't. Let's get off the battlefield and just send people to the octagon. That's the way it should be, Kenny. Send your country's best warriors into MMA and then have them fight each other. And then have us argue about who's better while we eat popcorn and drink beers and gay times and chicken wings. That's the way the world should be. I agree. You can't argue with the results, but you'd be within your rights to question how reputable those results are with a set of variables at play. You would be. And, next time Hamzat stumbles or goes in against someone that I, as a fan, have a bias towards, I will use those variables to continue to put Hamzat down. But at the moment, Hamzat said that his cardio sucked. He moved his camp to somewhere where the cardio can get fixed. Hamzat has had visa issues. Now the UFC are doing more fights in regions where that's not going to be a problem. And then visually, Hamzat Chimaev dominated Robert Whittaker in the first round and pushed his fucking teeth into his skull. Fuck. Fuck. It's hard to hate Hamzat right now. Nacho spreading misinfo. It's always 2 hours, buddy. Plus the love for all things. Yep. Hap Chandler, thank you for the 99 cents, brother. I really appreciate it, mate. Good luck to your bloody dad this weekend, brother. Got gifted? You got gifted, mate. Gifted! Nacho, thank you for the $5, mate. I really appreciate it. Rob's neighbor, Portuguese Herzog DD. These people aren't even part of the I don't understand how these people got a membership. I don't know who these people are. And Christian Gray, well done. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Nacho, thank you for the $5 as well as the other $2. Thank you for the $7, Nacho. Appreciate it, man. It's a lot of money, you guys. Why are you guys in such a giving mood today? Appreciate it. Really do. I bloody love you, chat. I bloody love you. I love my hobby as being an MMA YouTuber. It's fucking great. It is a great hobby. I do love this hobby. Thrill House! You got gifted, mate. BDE? Don't even know what that means. Shout out to Thrill house. Hap Chandler, woo, good luck to your dad. Have a good night, man. Always good to catch a late night Dougie stream. Catch you in a bit. Everyone subscribe to Brutally Honest. It's a fucking great channel. A lot of good banter. Can't wait to go to England and have a beer with Brutal and Frankie and all the boys. Good on you, Brutal. Have a good night, mate. Chad Move, Brutally. I love seeing the boys support Dougie. He goes hard with the content. Thank you, Nacho. I appreciate it, man. Brutal is a legend. Brutal is an absolute legend. Casually dropping the well-rounded non-UFC MMA takes and casually dropping 10 gifted. That's why Brutal's a GOAT. That's why that whole community over there in England is a GOAT. Pound for pound, Brutally Honest, best MMA channel on the platform. All right, don't say it to my face. No, he is very good. Very good. Bryce would be fun as hell to hang with. Go camping for a weekend with him would be epic. It would be so fucking awesome to go camping with Bryce Mitchell. We have deer in Australia. To watch him put a deer into a rear naked choke and then eat that strangled deer over the campfire with a couple of moonshines made by Jamie's uncle who whips up moonshine would be a fucking legendary weekend. It really would. It'd be a fucking legendary weekend. I think you misread that message, Dougie. I don't even know what the message was anymore, Chris. So we're moving on. We can grab some moonshine, brother, and say the... All right, Bryce. We can grab some moonshine, brother, and say the discernment word. You got to use discernment. Can't believe the UFC is moving back to the old eye-poking gloves for Jon Jones. It's definitely for Jon Jones' super shotgun. It's so Jon Jones can rip out Miocic's eyes because the UFC want Miocic blinded so they can't see the contracts that he's signing. It's got nothing to do with the fact that the New York State Athletic Commission is the worst commission to work with, and they set up the MMA rules to allow for 4-ounce gloves only at a minimum, and the new gloves are a little bit lighter. It's got nothing to do with that at all. Nothing to do with that at all. It's to specifically help Jon Jones blind Stipe Miocic. Sniff, what's up, mate? Well, if it isn't Mr. Sklorna. How are you, Sniff? What's good, man? Unranked guys who beat Paddy is Ruffy, Ludovic, Baramundos. Oh, these are all the guys who would beat Paddy? Yeah. Overhyped, Karam Kutsledzi, Rebecca, Orobai, McGregor, maybe, Diego Fiera, yep, Fresa Zam, and Grant Dawes. Maybe Grant Dawes. But Toad, can you not bring up any list of the rankings and find unranked guys? Maybe not in the higher weight class, maybe not in welterweight and above, but certainly in featherweight, flyweight, bantamweight, and lightweight. There are super skilled guys that are unranked that could beat some of the older guys still clinging onto their rankings, Toad. You know this, man. The organization, the divisions below 155 are fucking brutal compared to, shout out Brutally Honest MMA, but they're fucking brutal compared to the other weight classes. You know what I'm saying, dude? You know what I'm saying, dude. You know what I'm saying. Homework said, I don't even got to take my victory lap anymore. I let the performance by Hamzat speak for me. Anyone else still yapping sounds bitter and insanely coping. It is what it is. It is. I mean, it is homework. Hamzat, he gets the credit. He did the work. He smashed the teeth. He gets the credit. I fucking hate it, but he gets the credit. It was actually $7.49 for 5 memberships, brother. It's broken the bank. My daughter will go hungry on Christmas morning due to this charity. Good. I need donors. No. No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to take a moment to mention this. We've seen more gifted memberships than the ones on this video. That's fucking illegal. I'm going to take a moment to mention this. We've seen more gifted memberships than likes on this video. Oh, yeah. Boys, like the videos. Come on. Dougie's staying on 2 more hours. I'll stay on for a little bit more. Nice 2 more hours. Let's fucking go. You know, guys, I know you guys watch everyone else's streams, but on fight day, during the fight day, I stream from before the first I go live about 10 minutes before the very first prelim. Early prelim. And I stream for about half an hour after the pay-per-view. Now, I know you guys want to watch the Guru, and I get it. He's entertaining as fuck. But he only goes live for the last 4 fights of a pay-per-view card. I'm playing Guru. But he only goes live for half the card. There's hours of streams. There's hours of, you can come here on a Saturday night, and I'll be live for 7.5, 8 hours fucking straight. You know that, yeah? It should prioritize giving people in the chat the gifted member. I know, Nacho, some of these names, I'm like, did they ever click on the channel once? I don't know how it works, man. It's very weird. Fair lightweight is one of those divisions that needs the old heads out and the new guys. It is, man. It is, Tope. Which is like, this is the thing, right? If you were bringing me those names and those names were in the rankings, those names could be Paddy Pimblett. I agree with you. But just the lightweight division, the top 15 of lightweight at the moment, is shit. And where Paddy's levels are skill-wise, he does fit into that lightweight division perfectly. But the whole division is dog shit right now. 15 gifted, 6 likes. It's bloody criminal, mate. It's fucking illegal. It was the cherry on top of the weekend, meeting Jazz Judavicius after her dub for Canada, especially in front of the Bubba Gump Shrimp, Forrest Gump restaurant. Okay. Not that she popped my cherry, you Aussie freak. Well, the way that you wrote it was very Jon Jones-esque. Christian Grey. Blink, blink. Definitely not Dana White. You skipped the Apex car. I watched it in the comfort of my own home because my girlfriend had been gone for 2 weeks and she had come home that weekend. And we just didn't want the camera. I didn't want to be live streaming. So I watched it in the comfort of my own home at our own pace. Okay? But I give up every other bloody Sunday morning to be here at 6 a.m. with you bastards. So, Dougie, what is your facial care routine? What the fuck are you talking about? Facial care routine. I'm a tradie, mate. I'm a 30-something-year-old. I'm a mid-30s tradie. What do you reckon my facial routine is? I fucking wake up, cunt. I fucking wake up and I cut my hair and I shave my beard once a week. Yeah, but Dougie is a casual. I gotta watch the City Life project so I can be less casual. I really, considering the websites that I've shown all you guys, I don't know how I've missed this. Dougie has a small band of extremists that he could easily activate into guerrilla terrorism against the Bolsheviks. I'd love to do that, to be honest. I fucking hate communists. Do you use anything to reduce wrinkles? No, mate. Hard work. Hard work reduces wrinkles. Watching the watch-alongs here are much better. You actually read the comments and it's way more chill. Thanks, Homework. I appreciate it, man. Don't scapegoat Jamie for this. I feel it when it's 5 a.m. over here watching a female MMA fighter walk out to Unstoppable by Shane the co-main event. I know, dude. That's why I'm like, let's alt-tab and actually have some fun, right? This isn't okay. You'll hear about this later. Yep. Imagine blaming your girlfriend. I feel like Paddy can fight for the title if you give him a favorable matchup and cherry pick. Look at Tai Tuivasa, who was one fight away and then got Derek Lewis. No, I know, but that's Homework. This isn't. I know how you get Homework. I know how you get, but this isn't Dagestani privilege. This is everyone. This is superstar privilege, right? Everyone gets this. Alex Pereira was pushed through the rankings because of the Israel Adesanya and kickboxing storyline. Sniff, thank you for the $5, mate. After reading this, you will say that you were never Jon Jones. You will even say I was never... After reading this, you will forget that you were ever Jon Jones. You will even say I was never Jon Jones. You're welcome. Thanks, Sniff. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you for the $5, man. I really, really appreciate it. You're a good man, Sniff. You're a good man. It hurts me to say that, but you are a good... No, thank you for the $5, Sniff. I appreciate it, man. That's a lot of money. You guys are giving a lot of money this week. Thank you so much for all of these donations. Me bloody heart. It's filled to the bloody rim, boys. What was I saying? Yeah, right. This Homework. It's not Dagestani privilege. It's superstar privilege. Alex Pereira was pushed to a title because he had superstardom thrust upon him by Israel Adesanya. Sean O'Malley was pushed to a title because he's Sean O'Malley. He was the Gen Z pick, right? Tai Tuivasa was swinging and banging and doing shoeies and was getting pushed to a title. Khamzat Chimaev will get pushed to a title because he's Khamzat Chimaev. You know? Like, Khamzat has had one win in that division, Robert Whittaker, and they're like, fucking title. Give him a title. This happens all the time. And Paddy Pimblett has got that England Cage Warriors. He's got that cult following behind him that is just enough to push him towards a title. So that's what he's going to go with, man. I think that makes sense. Homework is just like McGregor. Yeah, like McGregor versus LD Alvarez. Don't ever. When people say Conor McGregor was a double champion, it is such bullshit. The amount of time between Conor's featherweight defense and winning lightweight. Literally had 2 fucking Nate Diaz fights in between it. It's fucking ridiculous. Timmy, thank you for the $10, man. Gifting the 10 memberships. Thank you so much, man. Lane and Cheddarhead and Aaron Tits and Mixed Race Apocalypse Baby and Musical and Yoshi and Randeep and Christian Gray. Oh no, and Jesse and Tarzan, you're all bloody gifted memberships. Thank you guys so much for the fucking donos. You guys are legendary, man. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it, brother. What is this, fucking Christmas? Thank you guys. You guys are legends. Thank you. Lucas Tracy is the worst chat reader of all time. I know. I've watched Lucas Tracy's lives. They're not good. I mean, he's fine, but he doesn't read his chat. Love your watch-alongs. They're always a good time. Thank you, Larry. True, that's fair, Dougie. I might still be bricked up. Got too excited again. That's all good, Chris. That's all good. Dougie uses drywall mud for that. Mate, it actually does suck out all the moisture from your skin. So your girlfriend came home from a holiday, and not for 1 second did you think, where was Schmitty? At not one point did you look around the bedroom and wonder, where is Schmitty? Nacho. This is the best fight. This is the best fight companion typically. Thank you, Nacho. Thank you, Dana. I agree, man. Trump wins and the donos go through the roof. Damn, we love for. I know all the Americans are like, oh, the economy is going to be fine again. Thank fuck. Now we can start donoing to YouTubers. I'm just saying that if you're just at that UFC level and the UFC gives you favorable matchups, each fight you can cheese your way to a title fight. Not saying you can beat the champion, but it can. I agree. Homework. I agree with you 100%. 100%. Hard to see who Paddy's even has a favorable matchup over. He has no way. He has no way to take down Gaethje, and he has 0 takedown defense. Get Paddy a win right now. UFC lightweight rankings. Get Paddy a win right now in the UFC lightweight rankings that he could get a title on. Lightweight. Where is Paddy Pimblett? Paddy's 14th. Paddy's 14th. Get him a win over number 8, Beneil Dariush. So that moves him up to number 8. Michael Chandler loses to Charles Oliveira. Michael Chandler moves down 1. Paddy Pimblett becomes 6th. Dustin Poirier has one more fun fight against fucking Dan Hooker. Probably loses that one. Doesn't really matter. There's some movement there. You could get Paddy Pimblett off one win into the top 5 or 6, and being top 5 or 6 grants you a lightweight title. Could easily happen. I think that MMA fans are a touch more casual than they used to be, and content creators find themselves addressing those people more these days. Maybe. I don't know, man. Maybe. I think, yeah, it could be. I think, like, the sport has gotten so much bigger that so many more people watch it. But back before the Conor era, it was very, very niche, and only people who loved it really watched it. Yeah, maybe, Dana. Maybe. How much longer are you going to go for, bro? Must rip this tea quickly. Need to come back for the skincare routine. There are no skincare routine tips. Thank you, MMA Thank you, MMA Joey, for the 99 cents. Good luck with your endeavors, sir, in the future. Not much longer, brother. Not much longer. Not much longer, Chris. Not terribly interesting to listen to. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Tracy. Yep. Everyone's balling today. I know, mate. It's very lucky. Colby has the special perk where he gets undeserved title shots. I don't know what he's doing, but the UFC fighter should take notes. Yeah, just talk shit. I mean, it's gotten Usman back to a title shot. I assume that Shavkat versus Usman is going to be for an interim title. Or at least a number 1 contender spot. Like, it's kept Usman relevant. You know what I mean? McGregor, arguably the most overrated MMA fighter of all time, in my opinion. Overrated? Maybe. He was very skilled. His featherweight run was incredible. The Nate Diaz wars were really fun to watch. The night that he won the second belt against Eddie Alvarez... No. Was it Eddie Alvarez? Yeah, Eddie Alvarez. He looked fucking phenomenal. He looked like magic in there. So, yeah, it's hard to say overrated. And then he did outbox Floyd for the first 3 rounds. Yeah, when Conor was good, he was fucking good, man. He brought eyes and pay-per-view numbers. Yep. Schmitty made the press conference huge. True, mate. Hey, I'm not Dana. Sorry, not Dana. It's called You're Winning Me Money, Cunthead. I got that freak nerd at $2.85 on Sunday. Oh, nice, man. The freak nerd. Thanks, Tim. Well, I hope my picks come through this weekend. I will release a community post with my picks this week. Dariush. Yeah, Beneil Dariush is still number 8. Yep. I knew you guys would say Beneil Dariush, but even he KOs Paddy easily. Don't think so. I don't think so. I think he probably follows Paddy to the ground and then gets wrapped up on the ground. I don't know. Beneil's got good top pressure, but yeah. I was thinking the same way. Dariush is, ironically, the biggest fraud track you could give Paddy, though. Maybe 2 years ago. But I think there's just something mental that happens, and it's happening to Dariush on this 2-fight skid. Yeah. I think there's something about getting so close to where you needed to be and then watching it just slip. And with MMA, as we know, it's just a game of millimeters. And there's something inside Beneil. This is like, I don't know anything to prove this. Beneil's not exactly the guy that's on fucking social media every day. But I just think where you were in his career, how hard he had to fight to get recognized by the UFC. I think Beneil was on like an 8-fight win streak, wasn't he? And for anyone else in lightweight to not get a title shot, that's just insane. So Beneil knows how hard he's one of those guys like Bilal that has to try so hard to get recognized by the UFC. And then to go on a 2-fight skid, I just think it takes away some of that fire, some of that heart. Yeah. Does anyone think Stipe has a chance at all? I think we all think Stipe has a chance, Tim. I think we've all been very well gaslit, especially by the work that we've been doing together as a chat, this community, the Dougie's Corner community. I think we all know that Stipe has a chance. Beneil looked like a world beater not too long ago. Feels fucking bad. Yeah, I know. I agree, Dana. I agree. I have the Joe. I know, man. That's funny, right? Shit. Tim, I put $5 on Paul Craig and Stipe to get a $245 return. It's a long shot, but at $42 odds, yeah, no, dude, listen, anyone that has got a couple of bucks to sprinkle, a couple of bucks at all, this lineup that Nacho's put together, Paul Craig and Stipe at a $245 return, this is the kind of fight that Paul Craig wins. I don't think he's going to win. But this is the kind of fight that he wins. And if you guys need a reason to believe that old man Stipe can actually get the win, first, go and watch Lucas Tracy's video. Now, if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. But after you're done watching Lucas Tracy's video, go and watch my video titled, I Think Stipe Can Win, I'm Being Gaslit. And that video was funny, but it also put out all the legitimate reasons that Stipe Miocic can actually beat Jon Jones. It's MMA. It is MMA Joey, the biggest supporter of this channel back in the day. Tom should have landed in New York now. Hope he causes a scene and confronts Jones and doesn't act like a nice guy. I'm sick of Mr. Nice Guy shit. It's getting him nowhere. I agree. Aspinall needs to turn it up. He needs to go back to the streets. He needs to become a real rod man. Yeah, I agree. Conor was great in his day. He was even good against Khabib. He did really well. He survived, 2 rounds of takedowns against Khabib? Yeah, no, he did. He did well against Khabib. Conor was really good. Can't call a double champ overrated, especially one that KO'd Aldo in 14 seconds. If Conor stayed in the UFC and didn't get rich and famous, he would be a go. Yeah, I know this. Yeah. And again, I'm a McGregor boomer. I'm a McGregor baby. So I do look at McGregor's early career as rose-tinted glasses. But when Conor was good, yeah. Conor died when he won that second belt. You know, when he won that second belt, he went and did a press conference. And he was talking about how he was nervous about becoming a father, and now it's time to get equity in the UFC and to start talking about shares. When Conor won that second belt, he died that day. That was the end of Conor McGregor. But fuck, it was a run leading up to it. Beneil's only 35. He's cooked, but he's still good enough to KO Paddy. I don't think so, Toad. I gave my reasons why. Yeah, I don't think so. Beneil's always been really overrated. I think he's been super underrated, actually, Cage, I would say. You know, like, considering how long his win streak was and no one ever considered him for a title, I think Beneil might be one of the most criminally underrated fighters ever, actually. I don't want to sound like a Conor defender, but how many UFC fighters can say that they were W champion at least? He won those fights. He was given on his come-up. I can't say the same for Sean O'Malley. I agree, homework. That's the thing. Like, Conor might have been given some favorable matchups, but the Nate Diaz double fight was not favorable at all to Conor in any way. And Conor still had to perform. Like, Sean O'Malley didn't perform against Jan. He cheated his way to that win. So yeah, you can be given all the favorable matchups in the world, but you still need to be able to pull the trigger. No, you're right, Dougie. I hate to admit that shit like that, but you're fucking right. Disgusting. I was really behind Dariush for a minute there. Disgusting, but it was really... Oh, yeah, I know. It is. Yeah. Like, Beneil deserved all of that credit that we're giving him. But imagine being Beneil today. You know? Like, thinking about all the fucking work that you had to put in. And then you got 2 losses under your belt. You must just be like... I don't know. I'm going to be watching Beneil's next fight very closely because it is going to take a real tough son of a fucking bitch to be able to get back into that fire. Real tough. Paddy fucks Dariush up for sure. Club and sub in 1 second. Yeah, I hope so. Stipe going to win. On you, Kenny. On you, mate. Moicano has a better shot at fraud checking Paddy than Beneil does. I agree, Cage. I agree. Now we're agreeing, Cage. Now I agree. I think Moicano has a better chance. I think Moicano is 2 years too old to actually do it. But I think if I was putting percentages next to it, I'd give Moicano the higher percentage chance of beating Paddy than Beneil right now. Paul Craig is the perfect meme fighter beat Bo Nickel. He beat Ankalaev and Jamal Hill. Yep. And we know that Bo Nickel is going to be looking to spam a takedown and end up on the ground. We saw Bo Nickel's last opponent, the shit cunt, be able to shuck off Bo Nickel in the first round. Paul Craig can create the scramble and wrap up Bo Nickel. Paul Craig can win this one. Plus your Bellator fighter picks were good. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Nacho, I'm on it too. Oh, there you go. Tim and Nacho riding the same bet. Nacho, he was matched incredibly well and against stand-up opponents. Only bar Mendez on incredibly short notice. And Habib, who dominated. Mendez on a full camp, wins that fight. He split with Diaz, who was a fringe contender at best, but also 2 weight classes up, number 1 mil fighter. And again, in the Mendez fight, Conor McGregor had a sprained or broken ankle. Conor McGregor was injured. The nose he lowered, but may have had him in the GOAT discussion. He wouldn't be in any top 20 lightweight in history for me. Not in an elder. He wouldn't be a top 20 lightweight in history? Really? Jesus, number 1 mil fighter. Really not a fan of Conor. Conor lost his mind after the Mayweather money. He did, mate. He did. Yeah, he really did. Beneil nearly got beat by Drakkar Klose. He's never really been all that good. One bad fight out of a 9-fight win streak. You can't say that, Cage. Khabib's fight was after he went away to fight Mayweather, and his only training was in boxing for a long time. Yeah, he came back with a boxing stance instead of that rangy karate stance. I was saying if he never left to do boxing and got rich and famous, he probably would have beaten Khabib. I don't know if he would have beaten Khabib, but I think he would have done better and stayed champ for a while. Yep. Imagine waiting patiently for a promotion you worked your ass off for, being promised you'd get it, then they hire a guy that used to work there 5 years ago and never shows up for work, and he out-earns you. Yeah, right, so you're talking like Beneil working his ass off for the UFC, and then Paddy Pimblett comes along, and yeah, they just go with him. Yeah, I know, dude. It sucks, man. Tom Aspinall Energy. Thomas, I don't know what you're talking about there, Dana. I took Stipe at a plus 500. Flat 10 down. Nice, Kenny. I like it. I don't mind these Stipe sprinkles. I think you've got the money. They're worth it. I think he's a tasty underdog. And when you parlay him with Paul Craig, if I was a betting man, I'm not, but if I was, I bet $1 on Stipe by decision and Craig by sub to win, a $255 return, and another $1 win on Stipe by KO and a Craig by sub to win 161. These are fun bets, man. These are fun bets. Is Benny finished? I hope not. The run was fun to watch. I think he's finished. I think it just comes down to the heart and the fighter. I think he's finished, yeah. I like Beneil, but it's over for him unless he completely wrestles and grapples. He doesn't get touched, but that's easier said than done. But even then, homework. Even then, if he just wrestles, you know the UFC. We all know the UFC, especially this year's UFC. 2024 UFC. TKO Group needing return on investment UFC. Beneil Dariush at lightweight, the exciting division, just wrestling for 3 more fights? No. Moicano can get away with wrestling because Moicano will get on the microphone and say, democracy is a fallacy. Fuck democracy. You need to have a king, a strong king, and Moicano will be the king. We can all get behind that. But Beneil, he's gonna wrestle and then he's gonna thank God and no one's gonna care. The Muslims will care when you do that. When you just wrestle and then say Allahu Akbar, the Muslims will get behind you because it's their first taste of success in the UFC. But if Beneil Dariush does it and just thanks a Christian God, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna care. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. All right, thank you guys for the donations. I'm going to get up to Kenny's last one and then get out of here. I really appreciate it, boys. Let me catch up. Conor was a minus 450 favorite going into the first Nate fight. Nate was a career journeyman coming in on short notice. People thought he would get smashed. Only in hindsight, people say it was a bad matchup. The numbers, the money lines, Super Shotgun. You know they get moved by fan opinion. And Conor going against Nate, fan opinion had never been higher. It was a bad matchup for Conor. It was a bad match. The weight class alone and the fact that Nate has good jiu-jitsu. Oh, you're a wrestler now, are you? It was a bad matchup for Conor. It really was, man. It was a risk, mate. Nate was on a party boat doing shots in Cabo and then he accepted the Conor fight. Nate being on short notice 100% helped him, especially the way that we know the Diaz brothers like to get ready for a fight. Completely ignore meat, do a whole bunch of meth, and run a marathon. And we know that they need that holy trinity to be good in a fight. And Nate didn't have that. But it was still a bad matchup for featherweight Conor McGregor. Come on, man. Stipe plus 500, delicious. Realistically, I think Jones Stipe is a pick'em. I wouldn't go that far, but I'm willing to be gaslit into it. Sorry, I was wrong. 370 for Bolanos. Oh, you're right, Timmy. Thank you for the correction. Last time I took someone over 300 was Strickland versus Adesanya. Oh, that's cheeky. That is cheeky. Moicano wrestles with good pressure, though, and can pull out the jiu-jitsu. Yeah, whereas Dariush? No. Yep. Oh, the metaphor was meant for Aspinall versus Jones, not Benil and Paddy. Yep. Benil's case is more like, let's just keep taking these intern shits, and they don't call you for another one when he goes to a funeral. Yeah, true. I get you. Based Moicano bringing out the divine right of kings. Super based. Not that Conor isn't a top 20 lightweight of all time, Dougie, though I don't think so. My point is that he wouldn't beat any of the top 20 lightweights in history. Right. I mean, he did. And he would. Yep. We love you. I love you, boys. Larry says, anybody else have a feeling Charles vs. Chandler may end up making it into round 3? May end up making it into round 3. Yeah, I think it could. I think it could go longer this time, Larry. Yep. Thank you, boys. Thank you so much for the awesome stream. Not just the donations, but the energy in the stream. It's great. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. There's so many MMA streams out there that I listen to, and they don't talk about MMA. But I like the fact that we can banter with each other and talk about MMA. And even when me and Nacho disagree with each other, or me and Larry disagree with each other, or me and Homework disagree with each other, you guys keep coming back here and we keep hanging out with each other and chatting. So I really appreciate it, guys. So thank you very much. Everyone, Larry, Chris, Super Shotgun, Alex, everyone that's here, Bilal's Good Eye, I know you're probably listening from work. Everyone, Kenny, all the boys, Toad, of course, Homework, everyone, thank you so much for jumping in on this stream. There will be another video tomorrow. There will be another stream on Friday afternoon, and I will be live for all of UFC 309. So what's up, Eric? I'm just getting out of here, brother. How are you? So all of UFC 309. So whether you watch me or Ronan or Frankie or Guru or MMA Joey, come and say hi for a little bit during 309, and I'll see you guys then. All right, you boys have a good night, good weekend, whatever. I'll see you in the next video. Scammed. How are you, Eric? There's your name right there, mate. You're still there. I'll see you boys.